Alright guys, we are back in my garage for another video, and today we're going to be talking about the latest updates from Spool Performance. Over the past several months, they've really been pushing the direct injection system on the B58 engine, and most recently over the past couple weeks, they've been posting some dynos, and they actually completely demolished the direct injection record. They were able to run crazy amounts of power with absolutely no port injection, no auxiliary controllers, just an upgraded direct injection fuel system. Now, recently we talked about the FX200, and I know that kind of piqued the interest for a lot of you guys. And I think the data that they've recently posted answers a lot of those questions you might have as far as how much power the different upgrades can support, what kind of order you might want to go in if you think you're going to upgrade your direct injection system, and just different things like that. So I wanted to make this video to share the information that I have with you guys, and hopefully you find this video useful. Now, as always, for everybody that's new to the channel, I create these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in our community, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because there will be a lot more coming out in the future. So like I said, Spool has been slowly rolling out announcements and teasers about the products they've been working on over the past several months. Most recently, we talked about the new FX200. That's going to be replacing the former FX180 as their Stage 2 high-pressure fuel pump offering. They also actually have been posting up pictures of their new top-mount turbo kit, which I haven't had a chance to talk about on the channel yet, but it does look like a pretty cool kit. It's going to be a billet machined manifold with a really unique design, so something different from the other top-mount kits that we've seen, and it'll have a lot of different turbo options, so we'll hopefully get to see that on a lot of cars in the future and get more data on that. But they have their shop car basically ready to trial all of the different products that they've been working on. So they started putting it together to see what it would do. Now they're actually working with David Shute to tune their car. He's worked with them in the past on some of their shop vehicles as well. And just to get a baseline, they put a Precision 6466 on the car and they tuned it with the new FX200 and it hit just over 690 wheel horsepower. So that's a really good number. I mean, for just an upgraded high-pressure fuel pump on an ethanol mix, it showed that they were running E50. That is definitely a good number. It's not quite the record. There have been a couple people that broke past 700, but that really is about the limit. Like between 690 and 710, you're not really going to see much more than that. And so, they just kind of posted up these initial results to show how development was going. They also added some details just so that people would understand where the car was sitting at. The 6466 was pushing 28 PSI and it was running about 0.85 to 0.86 lambda. So a nice safe area for the car to be in. But of course they wanted to continue pushing the car and that was a perfect time for them to test their new upgraded injectors. Now these injectors are only going to be for the Gen 1 B58 for now, but they did post that it's going to flow 50% more than stock. Obviously with a baseline dyno showing almost 700 wheel horsepower. Again, this is tracking to the calculations we've done in the past where it should theoretically support over 1,000 wheel horsepower on an ethanol mix. It does outflow basically all of the high-pressure fuel pumps and everything they've seen on the market, so they did mention that as well. This is basically going to be something that can max out most people's expectations for the B58. It is also rated for 290 bar, which I think is something unique. I haven't seen that in the past. The stock injectors are rated for 250 bar, and I know a lot of people are concerned about fuel pressure spikes and things like that. Now, while that hasn't been proven to be like a consistent issue or a specific thing that's causing injector failures, this one having a slightly higher rating is a nice thing to see. And they also mentioned that these injectors are only going to flow 50% more fuel because they found that to be the limit of the increased injector size that can still manage to maintain a stock-like idle and, smooth low load driving. So when you're cruising around town, it should be similar to stock. Now, if you want injectors that are bigger and flow more, they did mention that they can get custom injectors for you, but I think that should cover pretty much everyone's expectations or plans for their B58. They also mentioned that it'll come with a lifetime warranty and the introductory price will be right around $1,400. So we'll have to keep an eye out when those are fully released. But in the meantime, they went ahead and put those on their shop car and went back on the dyno and started doing some more testing. Now, at this point, they were able to add an additional 50 wheel horsepower. So they hit 748 wheel horsepower and 647 foot-pounds of torque. Again, a really, really good number. That's more than we've ever seen without port injection on a B58. So they've already broken the record at this point. And the only thing that they added were the spool injectors, as well as a spool low-pressure fuel pump, which we know the low-pressure fuel pump will be at the limit at 700 wheel horsepower as well. They did drop the ethanol mix slightly. I guess it was just reading E48 instead of E50, so they noted that. And they also switched tuners. They're working with DSM lights. I'm actually not as familiar with this tuner, but if you go through their social media, they've tuned several B58s on multiple different platforms, so they do seem like they're pretty experienced. So, awesome news. Everybody's really excited to see that, but they still had one more trick up their sleeve, and Spool has also been working on their own lift kit. So they basically installed their exhaust cam with the FX200 so that they could push the direct injection system further, put the car back on the dyno, and started tuning some more. And with the lift kit, the FX200, and their upgraded injectors, they hit 820 wheel horsepower and 680 foot-pounds of torque. So I just think that's absolutely insane. You know, we barely see B58s going over 800 wheel horsepower to begin with, and now seeing one on a stock engine, stock trans, stock intake manifold, just an upgraded direct injection fuel system really shows how far this fuel system can go. Now, a couple things that I didn't like, I'm just going to be kind of transparent here. So they changed the turbo. They switched from the 6466 to a bigger Garrett 7170. That's not really the Garrett nomenclature for how they name their turbos, but when you look at the specs, it does match the G40 1150 turbo. So I believe that's what they were running. So with the bigger turbo, you can kind of see on the dyno chart, it's a lot more laggy, a lot more power is pushed towards the top end and higher up in the rev range. And that's kind of a trick that you can use with a turbo because a bigger turbo is going to flow more up top, where the high pressure fuel pump and the direct injection fuel system is going to be stronger. Now, in this case, they were working with David Shoup again, and he did mention that they basically put a really flat duty cycle curve for the turbo. So it made it even lazier than it should be. And so that's a part of the reason why it spooled so late and kind of like spiked straight up like that. And with a little bit more tuning, he's confident that he could get it to spool sooner. But they still plan on running a smaller turbo that will push the mid-range of the fuel system and really test where those limits are. Because like we've talked about in the past, our direct injection fuel flow increases as RPMs go up. So the real test is if you're going to hit it hard down low between like 3 and 5,000 RPM, that will really test how strong the fuel system is and what it can support. Otherwise, if they're going to be riding the limits there, then they'll kind of have to fine-tune their boost control to ride the limits in the mid-range. They also did mention that they're going to work on some tuning to optimize the high RPM kind of waviness you see on the dyno. Again, this was just kind of to get a baseline to see where the fuel limits are, but there's a lot of refinement that they can add to make this a better street car. Speaking of which, they absolutely are not going to put the car on the street in this exact configuration because this kind of power will blow your engine likely and blow your transmission. So they plan on building the engine and swapping the transmission before they actually put it on the street. So hopefully when they get that done, we'll see some draggy numbers and things like that. And they do, like I said, plan on putting a smaller turbo on there so it'll have better street manners, should spool more quickly, and they can hopefully get better performance times with the car. But we'll just kind of have to see. They plan on pushing for over 900, and they also plan on testing it on full E85. At this point, they're still on an ethanol mix to really stretch out the fuel system. But they do want to see how far it can go on full E and see if they can push 900 plus, maybe even get close to 1,000 horsepower. Time will tell with that one. But yeah, just lots of good news coming from Spool. They really put a lot on the table here, and I appreciate that. I was just kind of complaining about how a lot of companies release products without a lot of data. So it's refreshing to see this kind of information, even though it still doesn't quite answer all the questions. You know, they're showing a good representation of what these different products are capable of. I also think it's interesting to see that they went from the FX200 to the upgraded injectors and to the bigger cams, which I think is probably representative of where the limits are. You know, the FX200 is definitely going to hit the limits before the injectors, but if you upgrade to an FX200 with stock injectors, you're probably not going to see a lot more headroom in your direct injection fuel system. So that's where I would say you probably want to do a high pressure fuel pump upgrade and injectors at the same time, at least. And then the lift kit is kind of the next thing on the list to further push your fuel system. But yeah, again, a lot of great data here. Shout out to Spool for releasing all of this and being really transparent. I can't wait to see when more customers get their hand on this so they can really get this out in the field and see what it's capable of with different setups. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.